Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is episode 151 of the Ask Gary V show. I'm in a good mood, India, because this is a very special episode. This is a 360 Ask Gary V. You know, everybody's going to be able to pay attention to Andrew's lack of athleticism, which is probably the most exciting part of the show. But we're trying something new here. Obviously, you're recognizing something different in your Facebook and YouTube environments. Click around. The future is very much here. I'm excited to use some of VaynerMedia's brightest and best for questions, and that's that. I think we've been on hiatus a little bit.
Yeah.
When was the last show? Like
early last week.
D-Rock, when was the last show? Last week, right? Anyway, nonetheless, obviously we have a new video out, which I'm excited about, Overnight Success. So that's important. Let's link that up. India, I think it is time to get into the show.
360 show.
The 360 show. Let's do it.
Okay, Dan's first.
Dan.
What up?
What up?
Hey, my question is about Facebook and how they recently started their own creative in-house agency.
Yep.
What do you think about that? How's that going to affect the work we do? And
Yes.
how do we remain the experts on social when more platforms are doing work in-house?
Platforms have done in-house from the get. I mean, this is a they're never going to replace agencies. And by the way, if they do, cool, then we'll adjust. We'll start selling popcorn here at VaynerMedia or something. I mean, the reality is that there's too much danger for Facebook to start doing that because the agencies are going to push back against that and then start recommending other things. I think what they're doing is they're trying to show best of class work, things that they believe in. They're pissed off at agencies for not doing Facebook stuff, trying to do TV stuff in there and things of that nature. So I think they're looking for it to be a North Star. They're looking to find other agencies to follow that lead. But, you know, all of them, Snapchat, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, they all have got some level of this. To me, it's something I've never worried about, or other agencies I think should really worry about, mainly because, one, if they're good enough and that brings the most value to the customers, then that's what the market should be, and then all of you will work at Facebook. I mean, that's the way it should be. But two, I don't think it's in their vested interest as a platform to get into the client service business. I think it's a very tiny dot in the ecosystem to try to move the creative in a direction that I think is meaningful for their platform, and it's a good way to spark. Look, you're asking the question, so it's a good way to spark the market. For me, I default in living in that environment that you have to make that content, and so I'm not scared, and good for them, and whatever.
Awesome.
Congrats to your Eagles.
Thanks.
You got a little Eagles. Of
course, always.
Feeling good.
Go Birds.
Oh, you've got a mic. We're real professional here on 360 Ask Gary V. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. All right, Sasha, let's go over to Sasha. Hey, Sasha.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. What's cooking?
I've seen this extra commercial trending everywhere.
The extra commercial, the gun commercial, yes.
Yes. How do you foresee cinematic commercials within the social space?
Yeah, I think that. I think the reason the extra commercial's doing well is because it's a good piece of content. It's a beautiful love story played out. The brand is integrated smartly and not forced. And I think Facebook is the environment to produce video for, and that's why we're seeing it do well. There's been great love stories executed on television, but if that ran on TV as like and I don't know, do you know how long it is? Like 2 minutes?
It's like, I don't know,
It's longer than
1
30
minute?
seconds.
The song
right?
is just like catchy.
If they did it during, the Super Bowl or during the MTV Awards and blocked off the time and ran it, it would be like, oh, that was nice. It wouldn't be like this because people are sharing it, passing it on. This is the kind of work I want to be doing at Vayner. This is the kind of work that I think people are going to be forced into. In a world where people don't want to watch pre-rolls or commercials, brands are going to have to find ways to actually make great stories and actually integrate their brand where it's not forced. Like, it's not like this is our show and this was like a bottle company we had and we're like, oh, I'm just answering your, it's actually part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's an absolute preview to where things are going. We've seen things like this on YouTube. I think the power of Facebook is the targeting and the shareability that is extreme. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Good, great question.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, India. Ben's hair is getting long.
Yeah, it is.
Ben, not as long as yours, India.
Testing and learning.
And
What's up, man?
Ben, can you stand up? There's a huge wet stain on your pants.
Yeah, I spilled coffee.
All right,
I'm a sloppy
just wanted
eater.
the Vayner Nation to know that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Question.
Yeah.
Twitter Moments.
Jesus Christ, calm down, guys.
Now that Twitter Moments is a week since launch, exactly
Yes.
1 week,
Yes.
what are your initial thoughts? And do you think this is their attempt to take on Snapchat live stories?
I think it's an absolute Snapchat, kind of reaction, though I have a feeling they were working on it before, which I think is the problem in itself at Twitter. I think the last 5 years they've been slow to innovate. So whether it is a reaction to what's working for Snapchat or it's always been in place, they're both bad answers. I don't think it's some great, unbelievable thing. I don't know how much you've looked at Moments. As a matter of fact, while you're
They
all
need
on the show,
Periscope support.
I don't feel like the Moments stuff has been that compelling of content, which I think scares me. I don't think if you're not compelled to watch it, it doesn't matter where it is in the UI or the UX. The content has to be right. It feels a little slapped together. It feels like a slapped together random skew of like different videos and pictures around a theme with weak editorial curation at this point. I think if they can get that down, it's like being a great programmer, right? Like NBC wins when their lineup is the best. And in the 80s and 90s. And I think what Twitter needs for that to be successful is somebody who really knows how to curate content at that level. For me, it hasn't hit the mark, and I've gone in there a lot already. I think the UI in the app is very important. It's worked, it's made me go in there quite a bit, but I haven't been compelled by the content. And the thought of brands integrating in there, in the same way that I don't think Snapchat's right move is these 15 or 10-second video ads, I think that's gonna be the more interesting part, which is back to the last question that Sasha just asked. A 10-second video that just like, eat extra gum is not as interesting as what we saw there. I think that's gonna be their problem because don't forget, they have to build a business around this. So far, I'm not super excited about it. What about you?
I think they need to add Periscope support. I think that would make it a lot more compelling.
Why? Because you're going to be going through a moment story and then you'll see something live and that will captivate you to stay
Yeah.
there? Because I think the problem with Periscope is most people suck at doing live video.
Yeah, but I like the behind-the-scenes, intimate sort of rawness of Periscopes.
Yep.
And it works out nicely. That content lasts for 24 hours, so do the moments. So
Yep.
I think the timing works out too.
Cool. I'm sure they're debating that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, clean your pants. All right, who's next? Minnie. Minnie, how are you?
Good, how are you?
All green, I like that.
Yeah, Army.
Army.
Air Force.
Yeah.
So my question is just circling around our culture and
Yes.
our growth.
Yes.
Year after year, and I've been here for a year, and just seeing our culture grow twice in its size.
Yep.
Any impacts or learnings that you've taken away that have just shaped how we're looking forward and how we're staffing our business, how we're maintaining our culture?
I think the biggest thing I learned over the last 18 months, as we've had a lot of growth, is that if the intent is right, and look, you being the head of HR, you have such a view that so many other people don't, which is you get to see in the closed door meetings with me the consistent North Star of, I don't know, you've had HR jobs before. Like,
Right.
I feel like a lot more people make a lot more business decisions, and the money is a big variable
Right.
in, let's not give this person any more time,
Right.
or let's fire this person, or let's promote this person. Money, I think you've sniffed out, is so not a variable in those
Right.
decisions. I think what's happened in the last year, to answer your question directly, I think I'm even more confident than ever that if your intent is right and you're committed to that intent at the top,
Right.
that you can scale that, whether it's 20 people. I mean, look, there's a ton of people watching right now that works in offices of 27 people and their culture sucks shit. The amount of people here that have worked at places that had 29 people. I just met somebody the other day who was like, I just came from another agency and our culture was so bad. They had 16 people. So I don't think the number of employees is the variable of a culture. I think it's cliche and accepted that when you grow, you can lose it.
Right.
My belief, because I'm in a lot of startups that have grown very big, is that what happens is the CEO or the founders take their eye off of the culture and they start looking for the exit.
Right.
And all of a sudden, if you're looking to sell to Google or Facebook or to another agency,
Right.
you don't care about the people, you care about the exit.
Right.
And then the culture hurts.
So how do you define culture then?
I think it's the collective feeling of everybody. To me, culture is a backwards thing of like, do the people here actually want to come to work and like actually like it, and it's not a chore or it's not super stressful.
Right.
To me, it's how each individual feels that adds up to one collective feeling.
Right. Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
India, now what? Last one? Yeah. Steve.
Steve? You want to come in and ask?
What's up, Gary? So my question is, you're always super busy, always looking to take on more. How do you do it all?
Let's let this guy answer that. Steve, that was a pretty good question, but a really simple answer to the question, which is it just comes down to time. I mean, at the end of the day, Steve, because you've worked at VaynerMedia for 4 years, I know that you work, 7, 8, 9 hours. I work 18. So just the volume of hours allows me to do a lot more. Steve, think about it this way. I'm probably living twice the life that you are. And so like what it comes down to is there's just a lot more hours of execution, and then also recognizing how few things actually matter, right? So one of the things, as you know, as a Vayner employee, we had a company-wide meeting once talking about let's cut meetings in half. All those hour meetings can be 30. All those 30 meetings can be 15. And so at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing that people understand is they waste time on dumb shit. And so if you have 6-minute meetings, if you have a 2-minute call when it's scheduled for 15, and when you actually work 18 hours a day, you can just fit in a lot more stuff. I think it comes down to ultimately intent. How much do you want to accomplish? What do you want to get done? And for me, that's a lot of professional stuff. And in those massive amounts of hours, if I maximize the width, 18 hours versus 9, and if I fit 97 things in, because you really only need 7 minutes, not 15 or 30. The amount of lollygagging that goes on by 99% of the market in meetings or the things they're supposed to do is extraordinary. And so keeping it tight and creating a lot of volume is how I execute. Pretty special show, India, episode 151. Pretty excited about it. The future is very much here, clearly. And I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed making it. You keep asking questions, I'll keep answering them.